Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, January 21st, and we are looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And even though it's not technically an inside day, I'm going to treat it like an inside day. We did get the consolidation we wanted. I think the bulls should be rather happy because the consolidation happened basically at the high of the day, inside M's range. We did make a new high in the day, but we did not get the all-time high in the overnight. Volume, once again, light. That's a concern that has to, at some point, be addressed because they're going to need the bigger boys to come in here. But right now, they don't want to be in. Not that they don't want to be in here, but they don't need to be in here. The market keeps going up, being pushed by day traders and short-term algos, and the Fed's backstopping it. So we were talking in the room. You look at the big 15. Top 15 holdings in the SPY ETF, anywhere between 20 million and 140 million, 130 million, they're sitting comfortably, getting nice returns, not having to do anything. Let's go to the other ones. Actually, one of my best trades of the day happened in Russell, believe it or not. I made my first trade ever in IWM, and the reason I did that, I got a little frustrated in SPY. After a short I took in that ended up costing me a little bit on that trade. When I looked at Russell after I got out of that short, it presented a nice opportunity. It was right around K's high. In fact, it was K's high. So they were already 9 wide down here. They had lower value. So when K period took out J's high, I actually bought the 214 puts against B and D's high. If it had gotten above B and D's high and above half back, I would have been out of the trade. It did not happen. Came in pretty nice for me. Scaled them out all the way on the way down. It was like a 30 or 40 lot. I forgot exactly what I took, but it paid between 25 and 40 cents. Turned out to be a very nice trade. As they end, again, 10 wide. I'm not using N, so their POC actually got raised. Let me see where. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they actually, I take it back. It was raised, and then M came down to G's high. So even though it was raised, it got, when we all flushed out. In M period. But again, that's just week longs that just flushed out. It's not that the market got bad. So they end 10 wide. They have an afternoon rally high. But that turned out to be a good trade for me. My best trade, actually, on the day. Triple Qs, they end only 8 wide. They do go out with a price probe as they made a new high in M period. So even though they closed below L's high, they don't know if it's accepted or rejected until today. Until tomorrow's A period. And they have an afternoon pullback low in F. For us, we open in balance in value. Value ends unchanged on a day. It was actually overlapping to higher briefly in B, C, and D. So I took 5 trades, made money on 3 of them in SPY. I should have made money on 4 of them. We'll get to those. I had 2 good trades in A period. I took a long in A period. I traded tomorrow's expiration, just like I did, by the way, in IWM. Those puts were tomorrow's expiration. I took the 383 calls against the overnight. Let me just see where it was. When it drove down. Yes, I took the call. I took the long against the overnight. We came down, got the overnight. Didn't hold it long. It was the 383 calls. Went back up. Made money on that. And then when we rallied again, didn't look like it was going to get the opening. It didn't. Took a short. Took the 386 puts. That came in. So 2 nice trades in A. Now, B period. I started a short in B period. I was like, well, if we can't get back above the opening, maybe we go and test the single prints again. I thought they'd fill this set. So I took a short when B rallied below the opening. The thing I didn't do is get out of it right above the opening. I should have. Instead, I added, and then I added again, and then I was holding them. So when we didn't get any acceleration in C, I added to them, even though we had single prints. I added, when it came in, I took the add off on. I did it a couple of times. I still had my core position. The thing I didn't do was in D period. When D took out C's high and got absolutely nothing for it. Should have added again and should have added decent size. Because then it finally flushed. Took out C's low, single prints, the opening. I took everything off what I had left at the opening. I ended up losing small on that trade overall. Remember, I started in B and I was in the hole pretty good on those. So if I had added that last time, I added in C a couple of times. I should have added in C, in D. I didn't, came in, took it off for a very small loss on that. E period, I took a long. Again, not a big one. I was doing it against B's low. Went back up, took that off. Then I didn't do anything in F or G. A bunch of people in the room went long, and kudos to them. I thought we had already taken out our overnight low, and we had taken out our initial balance high. So when we came back down here, I'm like, there's a good chance we'll take out both sides of the initial balance because it's so small. And fill these single prints and then look for a long. Didn't do it, and then you saw what happened. F, G went up. I guess I could have taken a long in G against F's low, but again, I was being stubborn like I do, looking for that new low to take the long. And then the next trade I took was a short in I, because I thought we never saw the opening again after after D. I'm like, well, maybe this is just shorts cover and we are going to roll over. So I started a short in I, and then in J, add on to it, and then when it got above the opening, took it off. Again, that turned out to be a loss on that trade. But I was still green in the SPY because those trades I took in A were very good, the long and the short. And then again, look at the way they teased the buyers. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. They teased the short sellers down here, like we're going to make a new low, and then they get flushed out. Did the same thing here. As we got closer to the high, we go out with a poor high at the all-time high. We have a poor high at the all-time high as they teased the buyers, and then look what happened. Absolutely flush them out. That's all that was. All that was in the last couple of minutes in M, are all these buyers in J, K, L, and M getting out. Doesn't mean the market's bad. They just got out. Okay, destinations for tomorrow. Upside, there's only two. Today's all-time high of 384.95, which is a poor high, and the overnight of 385.30. Downside, we don't have anything to today's low, 383.25. And then we have the single prints that now start at 383.24 and get filled at 08. And you should have all the other downside destinations I said to please write down this morning. And then on the charts, monthly, one time framing up, very healthy for 3 months out of an inside month. Weekly, inside week up, holding very nicely. And the daily is up, one time framing up 3 days, the gap being my main focus. I hope you had a great day trading. Enjoy the evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.